seems like you wait all year for fall to come around, and then when it does, it just comes and goes so quickly that you don't get an opportunity to take advantage of it. So this year I'm trying to get out and get ahead of things, and on a cool, crisp early September morning, I went out and tried to get some signs of fall images. So here we go. My first stop was at this church in Bristol, Illinois, which is really only a couple miles away from my house, which is very convenient. And I've never shot this church. Just wanted to take advantage of the nostalgia, just the old gable framed building. Almost looks like a barn that might have been converted into a church, but yeah, so I shot this with the D850 and my 24-70 lens, f13 at 1/15th of a second, and I was wide open at 24mm with that lens, and I really like how this image came out. I used Nik software, Silver Effects Pro, to do the processing. Really love how the cracks and grass in the foreground of the image take you up to the church and lead you into the peeled and torn paint. Now this one's shot with the same lens, but I'm at 1/30th of a second and shot it at f11. Still processed this in Silver Effects Pro, but I gave it a softer, little more glow to it. Wanted to have this image a little more angelic. So here's the first one again. And here's the second one. Let me know if you like one better than the other. Alright, so my next stop was this local farm stand where this barn here caught my eye, and not just the barn, but the way the light was hitting that tree in front of it, and also cascading dappled light onto the barn and the silo, and the light in the foreground on the road and in the grass. And so really was attracted obviously to the light, but definitely to the barn and the orange door on the barn. And you see these limbs here sticking in from the corners, upper corners. I did that intentionally because I thought that would add some depth to the image. And I shot this one at 1/30th of a second at f11, and it almost has a little bit of like an infrared type of look to it, but it's a sepia, and I processed it in Nik software, Silver Effects Pro. But I do like how black the blacks are, but I like this golden tone, and the highlights are quite bright yet, and I think that's what gives it that somewhat infrared feel. My next shot turned out to be what I think is probably my favorite shot of this whole day. I found this scene. I love the money here sign right next to that silver box with the jack-o'-lanterns or pumpkins all around it, basically. I shot it on a slight angle looking into the sun. I like the background from this angle, and the sun kind of washes out the background a little bit, which I'm okay with. Put my tripod down so the camera was about level with the pumpkins and just fired away. Now this one's 1/10th of a second at f14. Went to f14 so I could get that starburst in the sun as it's just peeking out there past that rail. Yeah, I love this image. It just has that timeless feel to it. Alright, so then I was looking at this trailer full of pumpkins, and you see this guy here, this one with the long neck on it there in the back. My eye kept coming to that and kept coming back to it, so finally I shot this. So this one's at 1/20th of a second at f13, and I know somebody out there is saying, thank God, a color picture finally. So here you are, my friends. The pumpkins themselves were in a deep shadow and the background was brightly lit, so it made for kind of a difficult image to create. It's an okay image, it's not something I'm going to hang on the wall. It kind of tells a story, maybe a short story. Alright, so I'm totally late to the party on these white pumpkins. I'm not sure when this started. I know it's been around for a while, but I've never owned one, and I can't really see myself carving a white jack-o'-lantern. Orange, the nostalgic orange pumpkin, is perfectly fine with me. That being said, I can see myself photographing these white pumpkins, as I can see them definitely in black and white. So I set myself up at the front of the trailer looking into the sun and shot this image of my new friend white pumpkins. And this one's at f10 1/100th of a second, and I just love the tonal quality of this image. And having the price showing up there in the upper left of the trailer, again, just gives it a timeless feel. And I'm not paying $15 for a pumpkin, but I like the image quite a bit. Now that my retinas were on fire from looking into the sun that long, I figured I'd come to the other side of the trailer and take an image with the barn in the background. And here's how that one came out. I opened the lens up to f5 so I could blur out the background of the barn and that tree and draw the viewer's attention more to the pumpkins, and I really like how that came out. Shot this one at 1/25th of a second, and again, tonal qualities, timelessness. This is just, I ended up liking this image more than I thought it was gonna. Alright everybody, hey, thank you very much for stopping by the channel. I really appreciate it. From Brummel's Farm Stand, welcome to fall, baby. You gotta love fall in the Midwest. And with that, I am Garrick, and I am your very best friend in the whole wide world. And you guys know the drill. Like it if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And we'll see you all next time, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.